everybody, this is Keith Gleason, host of Indie Comics Relay, creator of the Mighty Mascots, and promoter for the Plastic City Comic Con. And I'm here with indie comic recommendations for June 2025. Before I get into that, just a reminder, Mighty Mascots Indiegogo campaign for the triple size anniversary 10th issue is still live in demand. I am literally finishing up fulfillment this week. I'm sending out my last few packages. So we're going to leave the campaign open for a while. So if you want to jump in, this is a great time. The book will ship, pretty quickly. So if you're looking for the book, still have some of the alternate covers as well. So we ordered a little more extra than we took in for sales, just for damages and things like that. But I do have some of the variants still available if you want to grab those. Also, PlasticCityComicCon coming up August 23rd. Admission $10 as always. We try very hard to keep our convention at a low price and low admission for everybody. And we have a lot of great guests. You can go to the Plastic City Comic Con and just scroll through the guest page. We got wrestlers. We got Philip Kennedy Johnson. If you're a big YouTube fan, we got Dan Larson from Secret Galaxy. And then there's just a whole slew of artists, vendors, writers, everything you could ever want from a Comic-Con. So just go through and go check out this list that's growing and growing by the day. And finally, Kid Switch number 1 and 2 is coming to Kickstarter. It's on a pre-launch page right now. This is a series I started more than 10 years ago, maybe about 15 at this point. And I'm finally coming back to finish this mini series. It's Ben 10 meets Sliders. And if you want to check it out, go on here, hit notify for launch. We got lots of great artwork, and I cannot wait to get this one going. All right, so that is all the promos out of the way. So now we're into the video here. I have been doing these videos for a couple of years now, and basically just a quick explanation. I do my orders with DCBS, which is part of Lunar, the online comic book distributor. And for a while, as I'm doing these orders, I see all these great indie books that you never see any press for. So I was like, oh, why don't I just start highlighting books that I see that I'm either planning on buying monthly or waiting till there's a trade paperback, because sometimes I do that with miniseries. Or if I just think it's a book you should check out, I highlight it. I usually highlight 5 or 6. It's not everything in the previews catalog, but it's books that I either love the creator or the concept looks cool or the art looks cool, something like that. So without further ado, let's get into this month's choices. We have 6 this month. So without further ado, let's jump right in. All right. First one is Escape. Now, this is a number 1. This is by Image Comics. It's written by Rick Remender with art by Daniel Acuna. Now, this is, I believe, a new monthly series from the creative team that worked on Uncanny X-Force together. It's a story about a soldier behind enemy lines that has to fight his way basically out of the country that he just ravaged, because his own team is going to come in with a bomb and bomb the whole place. It doesn't seem like it would be something that would be a monthly series, but who knows? I mean, Rick Remender actually does a lot of long form series, so who knows what he has planned for this. But it's right here. It says Hunted Out of Time, the new ongoing two-fisted war epic from Remender and Kuna starts here. And the other weird thing is he's using like animal creatures, like as you can see here in this image, it's like a bear, but it's got this beautiful like painted artwork to it, so it looks really interesting. Rick Remender is a pretty good writer. I like most of his stuff, and so I'm definitely interested in this. And anything from Image that Rick Remender does is usually pretty awesome. So I'm looking forward to checking this one out, and we'll see how long this one actually ends up going. If you want to get Escape number 1, this is the Diamond Code. Now, I don't know how Diamonds work, and I know it's kind of going away, so you may just not even have to worry about the Diamond Code anymore. You probably can just go to your retailer and let them know that you want Escape from Image, and they'll order it for you and can add it to your pull list. And please do that. It always helps retailers figure out which series have heat, which ones people are into, how many to order, that kind of thing. So it always helps if you pre-order and let your retailers know that you want the book. All right, moving on to our second series. This is Orphan and the Five Beasts, Bath of Blood #1. Now, this is another mini. I guess there was a previous mini series of this, which I'll have to go find. I totally missed it the first time around, but I've become a fan of James Stokoe, which is the writer and artist. I really love his style. It's very detailed and it's kind of somewhere between manga and traditional art, which is really cool. And it sounds like it's just like a gigantic kung fu epic. And let me see. Yeah, so the way it was written here in the paragraph, it looks like this might be the second mini series, and it's one of those stories where the main character has to try to go through 5 different bosses, kind of like Kill Bill or something like that. And yeah, it looks great, and I just love a good kung fu series from comics, which you don't get a lot of anymore. It's kind of like a Western, and you don't see a lot of those around. So whenever they do this, I'll have to try to go out and find the first mini series of this. But he also did Alien Dead Orbit, which you might have seen. That's the first work that I actually saw his artwork and writing on. And it was really cool. So yeah, highly recommend it. So this looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. So check it out. Orphan and the Five Beasts, Bath of Blood miniseries. If you want to order that, just go to your retailer, let them know you want this. All right, moving on to our next pick. This is from Bad Idea Corp. This is Cul-de-sac #1 of 4. So this is a 4-issue miniseries. And I'm so happy Bad Idea is actually available to order now, versus you having to find the destination stores. I think I mentioned in an earlier video that I used to have to drive an hour just to get their books. And these guys they make some great books, but I don't think a lot of people are seeing them because you have to go to certain stores to get them. But the reason I'm really excited about this one, it's a horror story, but it's Mike Carey is returning to comics, who haven't seen him writing comics in a while now. And I love his work. He did the Lucifer series. That was the spinoff from Neil Gaiman's Sandman, it's an excellent series. If you can find the big, thick books of Lucifer, I highly recommend them. They're really good. And this one is about a vampire. Like it's about a family on a cul-de-sac, but the kids find out that their families are vampires, and then it also involves vampire hunters and things like that. So it sounds like a really fun story, really fun horror story, if those can be fun. But it looks like it's putting the horror back in like vampire stories, which is great. Cul-de-sac #1 of 4. Bad Idea Press. Let your store know that you want Cul-de-sac. All right, moving on to our next choice, which I'm really excited about. This is the Nocturnals, The Sinister Path #1 from Dark Horse Comics. It's a 4-issue miniseries, written and drawn and painted by Dan Barretton, which I have not seen in comics for a while now. He used to be big when I was back working at That's Entertainment back in the early 2000s. He had tons of books. And I don't know why he left the comic industry, but it looks like he's back with another new Nocturnal series, which I'm really excited about. It's like monsters that hunt monsters, basically. It's it's his stuff is always very action packed and got a decent little story to it. So I'm really excited that he's returned to comics. Not much to say. It's just these books are fun, and I'm glad Dan Barretton is back. And so check it out. And they used to put omnibuses of the old Nocturnal series out. I don't know if you can still get those. You'd have to probably do a Google search or check Amazon, or even check your local shops. They might have some of the older stuff that he did. But yeah, this is a great series. And then another one I love by him was called Giant Killer. I think that DC put that out. It was really fun. Good stuff. So I'm glad to see Dan's back. So if you want to order Nocturnals, go to your store, let them know that you want The Sinister Path, the new Nocturnals miniseries. All right, moving on to our final 2. This is Universal Monsters Invisible Man, #1 of 4. This is by Image Comics and by Skybound Entertainment. This is another miniseries of the Universal horror monsters they've done. I think this is the last of the monsters they have yet to do, which is the Invisible Man. And they brought in James Tynion, which is one of the best writers in comics right now. So I'm looking forward to this. I don't know. Invisible Man is one of those horror movies I haven't seen a lot of, but I did just buy the 4K Universal Monster movie set of all the movies. So I plan on maybe this fall, when the Halloween season gets closer, start watching all the Universal Monster movies in the order that they came out. I think that'll be a lot of fun, and just catch up. I've been loving these series, these mini series. The only one I haven't read is The Mummy. I have all 4 issues, but I just have not read it yet. And then I'm looking forward to this one. It's going to be great. So Universal Monsters, Invisible Man, issues 1 through 4. Let your store know that you want them. And they also have multiple covers like everything else these days. So, but they do a good job with their multiple covers. They make like 5 or 6 of them, and usually pretty solid quality. Skybound Entertainment. All right. So let your store know you want Invisible Man from Universal Monsters. All right. And our final pick this month is another one from Bad Idea. This is the Hero Trade Project Chimera, number 1 of 2. This is a 2-issue miniseries. I don't know if I'm saying Chimera right. I think it's Chimera, maybe. Anyways, but it's a continuation of the Hero Trade, which is a bunch of short story one-shots that used to appear in the back of other Bad Idea books. And they were always written by Matt Kint or David Lapham, or Lapham, I've heard it said both ways. And this is great. It's almost like a more harder version of like Astro City. It's like about characters that aren't actually the superheroes, but they work around. This is more like the underground kind of stuff. Like, I remember there was one issue where a superhero was killed, or one series it was killed, and a guy was dealing with the DNA of the character, like cutting off arms and things like that, and selling it to the highest bidder. So it's stories like that where it's like the underground, or people that are affected by different heroes in the city and stuff. And this looks like great. I mean, you can't beat those 2 creators, Matt Kint and David Lapham. I love David's artwork. I even got a commission of Boxer Bear a while ago from him, which came out good, and it's upstairs in my living room framed. And Matt Kint, I love his writing. He's the guy that did Berserker, the Keanu Reeves book, and a bunch of other. He's a great indie creator, and I love most of the stories I've read by him. I think he's very solid. So whenever I see these guys together, I definitely have to take note, because they put out some good stuff. So Bad Idea, like I said before, I'm so happy that they are releasing stuff in the into stores easier now, so all stores can order them. And all right, so that does it this month for indie comic recommendations. Thank you guys for checking out the video. Like, subscribe, share the channel. Join us every other Monday night for our live streams. Me, Johnny, and Harry go live, and we interview creators and just shoot the breeze all night. And it usually ends up being fun and informative, and we have some great conversations. So check that out. And most importantly, read some comics, everybody. All right, have a great week, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.